Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to the Monday Night Raw review. Monday Night Raw tonight was from the SAP Center in San Jose, California. And, of course, this was Monday Night Raw's fallout from Elimination Chamber, which, of course, was Saturday. Didn't watch it, and planned not to watch it because the results, I read the results, I called every single win on that card. So, makes no sense to watch the show when, I called every single winner of that match. My predictions came true. Looked like a very predictable show. But it did pretty good there for the crowd in Perth. So there was talks about WWE possibly doing another show out there in Perth, Australia. So whenever that will be, that will be pretty cool. But getting into Monday Night Raw. Raw was very mediocre tonight. We had Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura. We had Smiley Raquel Rodriguez versus Chelsea Green. We had Imperium, Ludwig Kaiser, and Giovanni Vinci. They ended up taking on the New Day, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods in a street fight. We had Shayna Baszler and Zoey Stark versus Indi, Hartwell, and Candice LeRae. We had Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan. Can you believe this? 3 women's matches on Raw tonight. And all 3 of them were absolutely boring, in my opinion. And the main event, Cody Rhodes versus Grayson Waller. So this main event all came about as to what happened at Elimination Chamber, where Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins were guests on Grayson Waller's show, the Grayson Waller effect. So overall, Monday Night Raw, very mediocre show this was. But let's jump right into the review. Monday Night Raw opened up tonight with Dominic Mysterio. Dominic was in the ring. The crowd was booing him. Of course, piped in boos for Dominic. The piped in boos are getting very, very stale. For Dominic Mysterio. Stop with the piped in boos. So Dominic ended up going to speak, and of course, the piped in boos, got louder. Please, WWE, stop with the piped in boos for Dominic Mysterio. Please. Feels like we're back in the Thunderdome. So Dominic ended up wanting the crowd to welcome the greatest Women's World Champion of all time, Rhea Ripley. So Rhea Ripley ended up coming out, still your Women's World Champion. She defeated Nia Jax at Elimination Chamber, which I knew that she was going to retain. And Rhea Ripley, she got a great reaction there tonight in San Jose. She got a awesome reaction, down in Perth, Australia, because that's her home country. So, of course, Rhea Ripley is going to defend the Women's World Championship against Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. Of course, Becky Lynch won the Women's Elimination Chamber. Predicted, came true. Everyone knew that Becky Lynch was going to win it. Everyone knew that it was going to be Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. But Rhea Ripley ended up getting on the mic. She ended up welcoming everyone to Monday Night Mammy. So the crowd ended up popping for Rhea. She ended up saying this weekend, she walked into her home country as the Women's World Champion. And she walked out her home country as the Women's World Champion. Rhea ended up saying that Nia Jax might have been the biggest threat to her title reign, and that it doesn't matter how big you are, just because she's from down under doesn't take away from the fact that Mommy is always on top. And she ended up saying that she is Rhea Bloody Ripley, which Rhea then got interrupted by Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch ended up coming out, and she got into the ring. She stood across the ring from Rhea Ripley. So Becky ended up getting on the mic. She ended up saying that the man has come around to San Jose, and the man has come around to WrestleMania to fight you. To which she ended up pointing at Rhea Ripley. Becky ended up saying that she is out here to congratulate Rhea. She ended up saying that Rhea had a great night on Saturday. She ended up saying that Rhea successfully defended the title against Nia Jax in her home country in a filled stadium in the main event. So she ended up saying that Rhea's friends and family were in the front row to see her victory, and that it was even better because now they won't have to fly over to WrestleMania to watch Rhea lose. So the crowd ended up booing Becky at that. So Dominic ended up saying to Becky that nobody talks to Mommy like that. To which the piped in boos end up ringing out for Dominic again. God, they overexposed the piped in boos in this opening segment for Dominic. God, like I said, these piped in boos are getting very, very stale. WWE needs to stop doing it. We're not in the Thunderdome anymore. So Becky Lynch ended up saying to Dominic, "Shut your mouth, you dirty kumquat." She ended up telling Dominic if Mommy won't put him in his place, the man will. Becky ended up saying that Rhea has been the face of this company over the last year, but she spent the majority of the time being fed grapes by that loser. And that loser that Becky was talking about was Dominic. Becky ended up saying that she has been the heart and soul of the company, and that she became a Grand Slam champion and has a best-selling book. And Becky ended up saying that the man can do it all, including beating Rhea Bloody Ripley. So then Rhea asked Becky, "Are you done?" So Rhea Ripley ended up warning Becky not to respect her Latino heat ever again. So Rhea then congratulated Becky on winning the Women's Elimination Chamber. So Rhea ended up saying to Becky that it's about time she stopped disappointing her to get a little close to her. So Rhea ended up saying that the man always thinks they're the backbone of everything. And Rhea ended up saying that she isn't behind Becky because Mommy is always on top. So then Rhea Ripley and Dominic walked off, and all of a sudden, Nia Jax attacked Becky Lynch from behind. Nia Jax ended up slamming Becky down a few times. She then ended up delivering a leg drop on Becky. Nia Jax started shouting at Rhea, and then Nia Jax dropped another leg drop on Becky Lynch. Rhea Ripley and Dominic then stormed off. Nia Jax pulled Becky into the corner. Nia was sent up for the Annihilator to Becky Lynch, but officials end up running down to help Becky Lynch. Adam Pearce was on the ring apron, and he started shouting at Nia Jax and telling her to get down, get down. So Adam Pearce ended up warning Nia Jax that he'll fine her. So Nia Jax walked off, and that was basically that. And this is setting up to something for next week on Monday Night Raw. It's going to be Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax again. Again. Who asked to see Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax again? So again, that next week. Great. But overall, this was an okay opening to Monday Night Raw here. Rhea Ripley getting a great ovation after being Nia Jax at Elimination Chamber. And, she was getting, good reactions. She looked like she was playing off as a face. But to me, Rhea Ripley here was a little bit of a tweener. Going from being a face, getting all cheers from the crowd, to a heel when she was talking to Becky Lynch. So she was kind of in between there. Overall, like I said, okay opening to Monday Night Raw here. And as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, we saw Jackie Redmond. She was with Nia Jax. Redmond ended up asking Nia Jax, why she attacked Becky Lynch. Nia Jax ended up telling Jackie Redmond that Becky Lynch should not be going to WrestleMania. And that with WrestleMania still weeks away, she has a match against Liv Morgan. So Nia Jax ended up saying whatever happened to Becky Lynch is coming 10 times to Liv Morgan. So Nia Jax then stormed off, and that was that. We had Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax later on in the night. And then we had the first match of the night. Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Very good match this was. Both Sami Zayn and Nakamura worked really well here. Some good wrestling from the both of them. So we had the match end up getting underway. Sami Zayn ended up wrenching Nakamura's arm. Nakamura backed Sami Zayn to the corner, and he ended up getting a break. Nakamura ended up kicking Sami Zayn in his ribs. Nakamura then applied a side headlock, but Sami Zayn whipped Nakamura off. Sami Zayn dropped down and leapt frog Nakamura, and then he ended up hitting an arm drag. Nakamura quickly ended up backing Sami Zayn to the corner and kneed Sami Zayn in his ribs. Sami Zayn ended up rolling out of the ring to recover. Nakamura ended up getting out of the ring. He ended up kicking Sami Zayn at ringside. Nakamura ended up going to whip Sami Zayn to the barricade, but Sami countered by jumping up to the top of the barricade, and he ended up hitting a moonsault block to Nakamura, which was great. So then Monday Night Raw went to commercial. Then when Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Nakamura was in control of the match. He ended up applying a octopus stretch on Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn ended up fighting out of that, but Nakamura ended up kicking Sami Zayn. Nakamura whipped Sami Zayn to the corner. He ended up laying Sami Zayn on the top turnbuckle, and Nakamura ended up hitting a running knee to Sami Zayn's injured ribs. Nakamura ended up backing up. He ended up hitting a running knee to Sami Zayn, to which he ended up going for the cover, and Zayn ended up kicking out. Zayn ended up countering a whip by springboarding off the bottom rope over Nakamura, and he took out Nakamura with a clothesline. Sami Zayn started punching away at Nakamura. Nakamura ended up quickly kneeing Sami Zayn in his injured ribs again. Nakamura ended up quickly kneeing Sami Zayn in his injured ribs. He ended up charging at Sami Zayn, but Sami Zayn countered with a Michinoku driver to Nakamura. He ended up going for the cover, and Nakamura ended up kicking out. Nakamura then started shouldering away at Sami in the corner. Nakamura then climbed the ropes, and Sami Zayn ended up stunning Nakamura with a punch. Sami Zayn then connected with a tornado DDT to Nakamura. Nakamura rolled out of the ring to recover, and that led to Sami Zayn hitting the ropes for a plancha, but Nakamura ended up running into the ring, and he ended up hitting a kitchen sink knee to Sami Zayn's midsection. So Nakamura had Sami Zayn on the apron, and he ended up hitting a front suplex, and Sami Zayn ended up falling to ringside, and then Monday Night Raw went to commercial. Then when Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Nakamura and Sami Zayn were trading forearms. Sami Zayn ended up ducking a kick from Nakamura, but Nakamura ended up stunning Sami Zayn with a spin kick. Nakamura then charged for the Kinshasa, but Sami Zayn countered with a Blue Thunder Bomb. Sami Zayn ended up going for the cover, and Nakamura ended up kicking out. Yeah, Nakamura ended up coming off the second rope with a flying knee to the back of Sami Zayn's head, and he ended up going for the cover, and Sami Zayn ended up kicking out. Yeah, Sami Zayn ended up rolling out of the ring to recover, and he fell to his knees. Nakamura then followed Sami Zayn out, and he ended up kicking Sami Zayn in his ribs. Nakamura ended up laying Sami Zayn on the barricade. Nakamura then climbed to the top of the steps, and he ended up pinning a flying knee to the back of Sami Zayn's head. So Sami Zayn was motionless at ringside, and Nakamura ended up getting back to the ring, and he was looking for a count out as the ref started counting all the way. So the ref ended up counting to 9. Sami Zayn got back to the ring, and then Nakamura ended up greeting Sami Zayn with a running knee to his face. He ended up going for the cover, and Sami Zayn ended up getting his foot on the bottom rope. So Nakamura then sized Sami Zayn up. He ended up going for the Kinshasa, but Sami Zayn ended up sidestepping Nakamura. Nakamura ended up hitting the corner. Sami Zayn took Nakamura out with the Luva kick to the back of Nakamura's head. Sami Zayn ended up backing up into the opposite corner. So he ended up charging. He ended up pinning a second Helluva kick to Nakamura. He ended up going for the cover. And there you go. Sami Zayn ended up winning the match. But overall, very good match this was with Sami Zayn and Nakamura. And another L. Another loss for Nakamura here. And then we had Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green was in the ring as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial. She had a mic in hand, and she ended up saying that she wants it to be known that tonight, after issuing a formal complaint to management, she will be competing in protest. Chelsea Green ended up saying that last week she would have won the Last Chance Battle Royal and would have gone on to become the most illustrious winner in Elimination Chamber history. She ended up saying that's only if Adam Pearce didn't add stupid Raquel Rodriguez. And Chelsea Green ended up saying that she is a star and the people wanted her. She ended up saying that Raquel flew all the way to Perth to be a big dumb loser, like the San Jose Sharks, to which the crowd ended up booing at Chelsea. So Chelsea Green ended up saying that tonight she'll prove Raquel is a big loser by kicking her ass. And that led to Raquel Rodriguez ended up coming out. Smiley Raquel! Gotta get those Colgate teeth in to show. And this was a boring match here. Absolutely boring. Raquel Rodriguez ended up pinning the Tejana Bomb on Chelsea Green. And there you go. Raquel Rodriguez ended up winning the match. Moving on. Jackie Redmond. Jackie Redmond was backstage with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn ended up telling Jackie Redmond that this win was huge for him against Nakamura, and that a loss would have been devastating. He ended up saying that he will be a champion, and he doesn't know how he's getting to WrestleMania, but he knows the path will find him. So Jackie Redmond walked off. Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci, both of them, walked up to Sami Zayn. They sneered at Sami Zayn and walked off. And then Gunther walked up to Sami Zayn. Gunther stared at Sami Zayn and walked off. And that was basically that. So maybe we'll see Sami Zayn in the Intercontinental Championship picture. Maybe he'll be the one to face Gunther next. And that'll possibly happen at WrestleMania. Who knows? So either it could be Sami Zayn, or if WWE doesn't want to go with Sami Zayn, have them go with Chad Gable. Chad Gable versus Gunther once again for the Intercontinental Championship. But who knows? And then we had Kathy Kelly. Kathy Kelly was backstage with Cody Rhodes. Kathy Kelly ended up asking Cody about challenging The Rock to a match. Kathy Kelly ended up mentioning that people are questioning the strategy as Cody heads to WrestleMania to face Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Cody ended up saying to Kathy Kelly that it's not a strategy, and that The Rock slapped him in the face, so we'll face him anytime, anywhere. He ended up saying that he awaits his rebuttal on Friday, to which The Rock will be on SmackDown on Friday. So Kathy Kelly ended up asking Cody about facing Grayson Waller later on tonight. Cody ended up saying that he's been impressed by Waller, and that Waller should love him. He ended up saying on the Grayson Waller show, Cody brought Jey Uso back. He ended up saying on Saturday at Perth, he gave him an exclusive with the challenge to The Rock. And now he'll have him in the main event of Monday Night Raw. So that is what Cody had to say. And then we had Imperium, Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, and Giovanni Vinci. This is Gunther's 626th day as the Intercontinental Champion. So Gunther ended up getting on the mic. He ended up saying that Jey Uso almost had him beat, and he actually felt the Intercontinental Championship slipping away from him last week. Gunther ended up saying that he got lucky, and that nobody is perfect, but he is very close. He ended up saying before Kaiser and Vinci outclassed the New Day in a street fight, he wants to address his future. He ended up saying that they need to understand that he's been working hard for 600 plus days, putting his heart, soul, and body into making the Intercontinental Championship the most prestigious in this company. Gunther ended up saying that he has beaten everybody along the way to achieve this. He ended up saying that leaves him with one question: who will be his opponent at WrestleMania? Gunther ended up saying that he has seen all the ridiculous names, like Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, The Miz, and even R-Truth. Gunther ended up saying, that's ridiculous. So then out came the Judgment Day. Finn Balor, Damian Priest, JD McDonough, and Dominic Mysterio. The Judgment Day got into the ring, and they stared down at Imperium. Priest ended up getting on the mic. He ended up saying, they don't sweat big bad Gunther. He ended up saying Imperium has had a dominant run, second only to the Judgment Day. And Priest ended up saying that he hopes they were watching this weekend, and that they ran the table at Elimination Chamber, and they plan on doing the same at WrestleMania, except they plan on adding more gold. So Priest ended up asking Gunther if he understands him. That includes the Intercontinental Championship. So Gunther ended up saying, since Priest isn't cashing the briefcase in on him right now, who is it going to be? Finn Balor, or the one with the big head, to which he was referring to JD McDonough? So Dominic stepped up. The crowd ended up booing him, of course. Gunther then left. Dominic held the mic up, and Dominic ended up saying that when Dirty Dom and the Judgment Day say they're going to do something, they mean it. And that means the Intercontinental Championship belongs to them. Gunther then shoved Dominic, which infuriated Priest. So we had Dominic and Balor and JD McDonough end up holding Priest back. Priest shouted that Gunther doesn't stand a chance if they come after the Intercontinental Championship. So pretty much that was basically that. The Judgment Day left the ring, and that was that. But overall, I thought this was a decent segment here. Gunther ended up saying that, we saw all the ridiculous names, who might be his opponent at WrestleMania, saying Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, The Miz, and R-Truth. It's not going to be The Miz or R-Truth. It could be either Sami Zayn or Chad Gable. So either of those two maybe facing Gunther at WrestleMania. Who I want to see Gunther face at WrestleMania? It has to be Chad Gable, in my opinion. Give Chad Gable that moment. Even though if they go with Sami Zayn and Gunther, I wouldn't mind it. But the outcome of that, my prediction is, if it is Sami Zayn versus Gunther at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship, Gunther will retain at WrestleMania. But Chad Gable and Gunther, in my opinion, is the way to go. Give Chad Gable his moment and make him the Intercontinental Champion. Let Chad Gable be the one to dethrone Gunther. And then Gunther chases for the World Championship. And then we had the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day was backstage, and Rhea Ripley came up to them. Rhea Ripley ended up asking Dominic about challenging Gunther, to which Dominic ended up saying that they've got this. To which Rhea Ripley was like, I hope so. She then walked off. Finn Balor ended up telling Dominic to go smooth that over. So Dominic walked off, and he bumped into Andrade. Dominic ended up saying that it's good to see Andrade, but he's got to smooth things over. So Andrade ended up saying that he's going to be meeting with Adam Pearce to discuss his first opponent. So Dominic ended up wishing Andrade luck. And pretty much that was that. And then we went to the street fight. Imperium, Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci versus The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. This was a decent street fight here between these guys. I mean, this feud has been going, good so far with Imperium and The New Day. So, match ended up getting on the way. They began brawling on the ramp, and they made their way over to the LED wall. Vinci ended up sending Xavier Woods into the LED wall. Imperium started to double team on Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods were shown wearing the San Jose Sharks jerseys. So we had Vinci and Kaiser end up setting up for an Imperium bomb on the stage, but Woods ended up coming back. He ended up destroying a trombone on both Imperium, on both Kaiser and Vinci. Kofi ended up pulling Vinci down to ringside and bounced Vinci off the apron. Xavier Woods ended up bringing Kaiser over. And we had Kofi and Xavier. They both ended up retrieving a table out from under the ring, which got a big ovation because, of course, the fans love when tables are used and brought out from under the ring. So we had Kaiser and Vinci end up attacking both Kofi and Xavier from behind. They end up knocking over the table. Imperium ended up getting the New Day in the ring. New Day ended up clearly punching both Kaiser and Vinci off the apron. Kofi and Woods ended up hitting the ropes. And Kofi ended up hitting a somersault plancha. And Woods ended up hitting a sliding drop kick. Ended up taking both Imperium out. So then Monday Night Raw went to commercial. Then when Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, we saw both teams brawling in the crowd. Woods ended up knocking Vinci to ringside. Kaiser ended up whipping Kofi into the barricade. Woods then chopped Vinci at ringside. And Kaiser and Kofi at this point were still fighting in the crowd. Vinci ended up hitting Woods with a back suplex on the apron. Kaiser ended up kicking Kofi in the head. Kaiser then pulled a table out from under the ring, and he ended up shoving it back under because the crowd was cheering for that. So when Kaiser ended up shoving the table back under the ring, boos ended up ringing out from the crowd. Kaiser then grabbed a chair, and Vinci ended up holding Woods up in the ring. Kaiser ended up driving the edge of the chair into Xavier Woods' ribs. Kaiser then ended up smashing the chair off of Woods' back. Kaiser then connected with a running kick to Woods. So both Kaiser and Vinci ended up putting Woods in the Tree of Woe, and they ended up putting the chair on him. So both Imperium ended up sandwiching Woods with some run and drop kicks. Woods then ended up falling to ringside. Kofi ended up kicking Kaiser in the face. He headed to the top rope. Kofi ended up hitting both Kaiser and Vinci with a flying crossbody block. Kofi then ended up hitting Vinci with the SOS, and he slammed Kaiser onto Vinci. Kingston ended up hitting Vinci with a boom drop, and Kofi ended up taking Vinci down with a right hand. He ended up grabbing a table from ringside. Kofi ended up setting the table up, and Kofi ended up going for a suplex out of the ring on Kaiser, but Vinci blocked it. So Imperium ended up hitting Kofi with a double team suplex into the ring. Woods ended up attacking Kaiser, but Vinci ended up taking Xavier Woods down. Kaiser ended up grabbing two kendo sticks, and he ended up hitting Xavier Woods with them. So Imperium then ended up smashing Woods with the kendo sticks. Kaiser then backed up. He ended up charging at Xavier Woods, but Kofi intercepted with a flying knee to Kaiser. Vinci ended up quickly taking out Kofi with a lariat on the floor. Vinci ended up getting to the ring. He crushed Woods with a running crossbody block. Vinci then grabbed the kendo stick, and he ended up beating down Xavier Woods with it. Kaiser then ended up hitting Woods with the chair, and Monday Night Raw went to commercial. Then when Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, we had both Kaiser and Vinci end up sending Xavier Woods into the barricade. Kofi then threw Pat McAfee's chair into Kaiser's face. Kofi ended up sending Vinci into the ring steps. He ended up putting Kaiser in the ring. Kofi and Xavier Woods were holding kendo sticks, and Kaiser was starting to beg Kofi and Woods off for them, trying to hit him with the kendo stick. But the New Day, Kofi and Xavier end up crushing Kaiser with kendo stick shots. So both of the kendo sticks were destroyed by the hard hitting from Kofi and Xavier Woods to Kaiser. So we had Woods end up standing on the top rope. He ended up hitting a flying elbow drop through Vinci and the table at ringside. You had Kofi end up getting Vinci in the ring. Kofi ended up hitting the backbreaker. Woods ended up following up with a flying double stomp. And we had Kofi end up going for the cover, and Kaiser ended up pulling the ref out of the ring. Kofi ended up taking Kaiser out with a suicide dive while holding the kendo stick. You had Kofi end up heading to the top rope. Vinci ended up getting back on the apron, and he ended up knocking Kofi off the top rope, and Kofi went through the table at ringside. Vinci ended up hitting Woods with a frying pan, and Kaiser ended up sending Woods headfirst into a chair that was wedged in the corner. So Kaiser ended up rolling Xavier Woods up, and he ended up holding Xavier Woods' pants to get the win. So there you go. Imperium ended up winning the match. Overall, decent match this was between Imperium and New Day. It's been a hell of a feud between these two teams. And then we had Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce was on the phone with Bronson Reed. And Adam Pearce ended up congratulating Bronson Reed on the birth of his child. It's a baby boy. So congrats to Bronson Reed. Really happy for him. So Chad Gable walked in. Chad Gable wearing a suit. Gable ended up saying to Adam Pearce that he knows everyone will be coming to him to get a shot at Gunther. Chad Gable ended up saying that he had Gunther very close to the feet, but that Gunther came out on top. He ended up saying to Pearce that Gunther made his daughter cry, and that he called Gable a terrible father. So Gable ended up telling Adam Pearce this is more than just a championship. It's war. So that was what Chad Gable had to say to Adam Pearce. So, but, like I said, I like to see Chad Gable versus Gunther at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship and give Chad Gable, his moment. He deserves it. And then we have Shayna Baszler and Zoey Stark versus Candice LeRae and Indi Hartwell. And before the match got underway, Shayna Baszler and Zoey Stark ended up saying that they were sick over Candice LeRae and Indi Hartwell getting a shot at the Women's Tag Team Championships at Elimination Chamber. Why? Because Indi is from Australia and that they've been dominating. And they end up saying that Candice LeRae and Indi Hartwell will be tapping tonight. And this match was boring. This was another boring match here. We had Shayna Baszler end up locking in Indi Hartwell in the Karafuda clutch. And we had Indi Hartwell tapping out. So there you go. Shayna Baszler and Zoey Stark ended up winning the match. Moving on. So as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, we saw R-Truth. R-Truth was sitting in the Judgment Day's sort of room, and he was looking at an old shirt with his name taped on it. So The Miz and DIY, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa walked in. Surprisingly, The Miz ended up being rescued because on Miz's social media, he was trapped in a room in the arena, and he couldn't get out. So, thankfully, they got Miz out of there. So, R-Truth was excited to see Miz, and he also thought Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa were DX. He ended up saying that Johnny Gargano is Shawn Michaels and Ciampa is Triple H. So, it's always funny, when R-Truth says that. So, R-Truth ended up saying that Judgment Day left for the night. And they want to cheer R-Truth up. So R-Truth ended up saying that they're trying to regenerate him. So R-Truth ended up thinking that, it's not Degeneration X, it's Regeneration X. So Miz ended up trying to correct R-Truth, and he ended up saying that they can be Regeneration X because that's awesome. So then R-Truth stood up. He took his old RCTV back. It was, those mini RCTVs from back in the day, before, HD TVs came into play. So he took the TV and he walked out with DIY or Regeneration X, as Truth would refer to Gargano and Ciampa. So he walked out with them and The Miz. So pretty much that was that. But R-Truth, you just gotta love, R-Truth and his comedic takes. Then we saw Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre ended up making his way to the ring. Michael Cole on commentary, he pointed out that McIntyre has been winning matches in a hypocritical manner. He ended up saying that last week he defeated Cody Rhodes after interference from the Bloodline, and that they were sworn enemies of McIntyre. And of course, mentioned this past Saturday that McIntyre pinned Orton after Logan Paul ended up hitting him with brass knucks. So McIntyre ended up getting on the mic. He ended up saying, "We did it." He ended up saying that he wants to take a moment to say thank you. McIntyre ended up thanking the people for praying harder than they ever have. So McIntyre ended up saying because of them, this happened. It's going to be Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. So McIntyre ended up saying that he feels like hell and that he's jet lagged. He ended up saying that he was the first man in the chamber and received a burst eardrum. Yes, McIntyre ended up receiving a burst eardrum. It was reported. So McIntyre ended up saying that the doctor told him that he was hurt and might not make WrestleMania. So McIntyre ended up asking the doctor if he thought he was talking to CM Punk. He ended up saying that nothing will stop him from making WrestleMania. So McIntyre then sat down. He sat cross-legged in the ring, just like CM Punk. So McIntyre ended up saying that he knows it hurt Punk not being at the Chamber and to miss WrestleMania. He ended up saying that it must kill him to see him getting the title match at WrestleMania. He was referring to Punk. So McIntyre ended up saying that he knows Punk is straight edge, so he drank enough for the two of them in celebration. So McIntyre then called out Seth Rollins. So Seth Rollins came out, he made his way to the ring, the crowd got in there, whoa. So Rollins got on the mic, he welcomed San Jose to Monday Night Rollins. And I don't know what Rollins was wearing. Of course, another thing in Becky's wardrobe. But he looked like a backup dancer for the Backstreet Boys. So McIntyre ended up looking at Rollins. Rollins then congratulated McIntyre. So Rollins ended up saying that he's proud of McIntyre and that he clawed his way back into a title match with him for the second time. He ended up saying this time McIntyre has an opportunity to do what he did in 2020, and that is win the World Heavyweight Championship. He ended up saying this time it won't be in an empty warehouse, and that it will be in front of a capacity crowd at the biggest WrestleMania of all time. So Rollins ended up saying that one thing stands in McIntyre's way. He ended up saying that he is a visionary and a revolutionary. Rollins did his whole shtick, saying that he's Seth frickin' Rollins. Of course, the crowd once again going, whoa. So McIntyre ended up saying that Rollins is standing in his way, and that it's no easy job to beat him. And we had McIntyre end up saying that SmackDown could be on fire because he ended up saying, why is Rollins going to SmackDown to fight other battles? Why is he getting involved with Cody Rhodes and The Rock? Why is Rollins making it so hard? So McIntyre ended up saying that he wants Rollins to be at 100%. McIntyre ended up saying that he wouldn't pee on SmackDown to put out the fire. McIntyre ended up saying that his responsibility will be to Monday Night Raw and the World Heavyweight Championship only. So McIntyre then warned Rollins to not go down that path with the bloodline. He ended up saying that at WrestleMania they'll have a hell of a match that will be tainted by the bloodline. So McIntyre ended up begging Rollins to back off on the bloodline stuff. Rollins then removed his glasses and he took a deep breath. And Rollins ended up saying that he respects everything McIntyre just said, but respectfully, some risks are worth taking. McIntyre ended up saying that he has known Rollins for a long time, and that Rollins has already thought about the things he said. Rollins then ended up saying that he has envisioned all the negative outcomes, and that McIntyre might be right. Rollins ended up saying that his knee may not be ready, and his back may give out. He ended up saying that the bloodline may leave him broken in their wake, and that WrestleMania will be an easy night. So Rollins ended up telling McIntyre that he told him before Crown Jewel, and he will say it again. May the best man win. He ended up saying some risks are worth taking. So Rollins then walked off, and that was how the segment ended. But overall, I thought this was a very good segment here with Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. It was compelling. Really liking where they're going with this. It's very intriguing. So it's going to be a good match between Rollins and McIntyre at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then we had Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan. This was boring. All three women's matches tonight were boring. And that's not a problem for the woman. It's a problem with creative. It's not the woman's fault. It's creative. So, match ended up getting on the way. Liv Morgan ended up drop kicking Nia Jax to the corner. Liv Morgan then ended up attacking Nia Jax in the corner. She ended up going for a run in her Karana. But Nia Jax held Liv Morgan up. We had Nia Jax ended up powering Liv Morgan up. She ended up delivering a Samoan drop to Morgan. Nia Jax ended up applying a surfboard stretch. And she stomped Liv Morgan's face into the canvas. Nia Jax ended up putting Liv Morgan in the corner and avalanched her. Liv Morgan ended up dropping down. And Nia Jax ended up hitting a running hip attack. And then she executed a stink face to Liv Morgan, just like, Rikishi. So Nia Jax did a little Rikishi there. So Liv Morgan ended up trying to fight back, but Nia Jax ended up chopping Liv Morgan down. We had Nia Jax ended up applying a stretch muffler, and she ended up swinging Liv Morgan's head into the middle turnbuckle. Nia Jax ended up going to the apron to hit a leg drop, but Liv Morgan ended up moving. Of course, Nia Jax hobbled at ringside from that missed leg drop, which I thought she was going to go, my hole, again. To me, whenever I see Nia Jax end up delivering that leg drop on the ring apron, I think she's just doing that on purpose because everyone knows how big that my hole, thing became. So I think Nia Jax just loves to do that on purpose for people to get talking, thinking that, oh, she's going to say my hole again. It's going to be big on the internet. So Liv Morgan then ended up taking Nia Jax out with a nice suicide dive. And then Monday Night Raw went to commercial. And as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, of course, we had Pat McAfee showcasing the stretch muffler that Nia Jax locked in on Liv Morgan with the telestractor. I'm like, once again, with the stupid telestractor. We don't need a telestractor in pro wrestling. I said that last week. Why are we still doing it? It's absolutely fucking dumb and cringy. It's good for football, not for professional wrestling. So Liv Morgan ended up starting to come back, and Nia Jax ended up avalanching Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan ended up avoiding a senton splash and knocked Nia Jax back. Liv Morgan ended up hitting a missile dropkick, but Nia Jax ended up staying on her feet. So at the end, we had Liv Morgan end up diving at Nia Jax. Nia Jax ended up catching Liv Morgan and delivered a Samoan drop to Liv Morgan into the ring post. And then all of a sudden, Becky Lynch ended up coming off the barricade with a flying attack on Nia Jax. The ref called for the bell, so Nia Jax won the match by disqualification. Becky Lynch ended up bouncing Nia Jax's face off the commentary table and then knocked her onto the apron. Becky ended up getting Nia Jax in the ring, but Nia Jax rolled out of the ring, retreated up the ramp, wanted nothing to do with Becky Lynch. And that was basically that. So this sets up Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax next week on Monday Night Raw. So we have to see this match again. Who asked for a rematch with Becky Lynch and Nia Jax? And I thought tonight we would see Jade Cargill come out there. Jade Cargill, Nia Jax going at it. We saw it at the Royal Rumble where Jade Cargill ended up slamming Nia Jax. I'm like, hopefully we see Jade Cargill next week and she causes the match for Nia Jax and then sets up, that sets up Nia Jax versus Jade Cargill for WrestleMania. Let's give that a build. Let's give this feud a build. Going into WrestleMania for Jade Cargill and Nia Jax. And then we saw Kathy Kelly. Kathy Kelly was with Grayson Waller. She ended up asking Grayson Waller about facing Cody Rhodes. Of course, Grayson Waller was with Austin Theory. Grayson Waller ended up telling Kathy Kelly that Cody Rhodes disrespected him and Austin Theory at Elimination Chamber in his home country. So Grayson Waller ended up saying that now he will disrespect Cody in his home. So that was basically that. And then, Michael Cole and Pat McAfee ended up paying tribute to Ole Anderson, who was an original member of the Four Horsemen. Sadly, he passed away today. And, Michael Cole ended up mentioning that the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, with Ole's brother was, Gene Anderson. So, condolences go out to Ole Anderson's family and friends. Very sad news. And then we had Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch was talking to Adam Pearce. She kept saying to Pearce that she can't let it go and that Nia Jax has to be stopped. She kept saying to Adam Pearce that she wants a match against Nia Jax. So Adam Pearce made the match official that nobody asked for next week. Liv Morgan then angrily walked up to Becky Lynch. She kept saying that she cost her that match and that not everything is about her. To which Liv Morgan ended up storming off, and that was basically that. But I am praying that Jade Cargill comes to Monday Night Raw next week and, causes Nia Jax the match. And we get that, build for WrestleMania, like I said, for Jade Cargill and Nia Jax. I hope they do it. And then we saw Jackie Redmond. She was backstage with Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso. Jay ended up telling Jackie Redmond that he has been falling short of completing his mission, and that it could be his past enemies or his own family members keeping him back. So Drew McIntyre walked up to Jay. McIntyre ended up saying that he knows Jay is having a tough time, and that he wants Jay to know that he deserves what is happening to him. Jay then punched McIntyre, and both Jay and McIntyre began to brawl. Of course, officials end up breaking it up very quickly. So, pretty much that was that. So then as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, we had Michael Cole end up saying what we're going to see next week on Raw. Of course, Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax. And Drew McIntyre will face Jey Uso next week. So those are the two matches that we're seeing next week on Monday Night Raw that were announced. Main event, Grayson Waller versus Cody Rhodes. Of course, Grayson Waller was accompanied by Austin Theory. This was a good match here. So the match got underway. Cody ended up hooking a side headlock on Waller. He had taken Waller over, but Waller ended up grapevining Cody's head. Cody ended up kipping out of that. Waller ended up bouncing Cody off the turnbuckles. Cody ended up chopping Waller. Waller then reversed the whip to the corner. Waller then ended up grabbing Cody's head, ended up kneeing Cody in his face. Cody ended up kicking Waller and dropped him down for an uppercut. Cody ended up hooking Waller's head. He lifted Waller up for a delayed vertical front suplex. And then Cody ended up clotheslining Waller over the top rope. To which then Michael Cole on commentary announced that Paul Heyman was backstage in San Jose. So then Monday Night Raw went to commercial. Then when Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, we had Grayson Waller in control of the match. Grayson Waller ended up drop kicking Cody. So Waller ended up applying a neck vice on Cody. Cody fought out of it, but Waller ended up kicking Cody in his midsection. Cody ended up flipping through a back suplex, and he clotheslined Waller. Cody ended up slingshotting over Waller, and he ended up hitting the snap power slam. Cody hit the ropes and connected with a disaster kick to Waller. He ended up going for the cover, and Waller kicked out. Austin Theory then got on the apron, and Cody ended up knocking Theory away. Waller ended up attacking Cody. Cody ended up ducking a clothesline, and he hit Theory with a suicide dive. Waller ended up attacking Cody from behind. Waller then ended up getting Cody in the ring. He ended up going for another Rolling Thunder flatliner, but Cody ended up avoiding that. Cody then ended up hitting the Cody Cutter on Waller, and he followed that up with the Crossroads. He went for the cover, and there you go. Cody Rhodes ended up winning the match. Post-match, Paul Heyman walked out. Paul Heyman walked out to the stage with his so-called friends from the NYPD. It was 3 guys. Cody ended up going to ringside, and he grabbed a steel chair and a mic. Paul Heyman ended up saying that San Jose is ruining his shtick because Paul Heyman was like, "Ladies," and then the crowd started booing at Paul Heyman. So Cody ended up saying that he doesn't give a damn what Paul Heyman's name is, and that this is all a setup by the Bloodline. So Cody ended up daring them to come get him. To which Paul Heyman ended up saying that this is not a Bloodline setup. He ended up saying that he is the only member of the Bloodline here tonight. He ended up saying, does he see a drop of Polynesian blood in this lineup? It's rhetorical. He ended up saying that the answer is no. And Paul Heyman ended up saying that, he has friends from the NYPD and that they're off duty. Well, Paul Heyman ended up saying, well, actually, they're suspended. Paul Heyman ended up saying that he shelved them out to California to say no one was expecting an apology. So Paul Heyman ended up understanding how embarrassing it must be to be Will Smith in front of everyone, and that Cody needs to take The Rock's name out of his frickin' mouth. He ended up saying that his tribal chief, Roman Reigns, has authorized him to let Cody know if he backs away, you don't get to just get a match with The Rock. And they could forgive Cody, but The Rock won't. So Paul Heyman was begging Cody. He was begging Cody with a cherry on top for Cody to withdraw his match against The Rock, or else. Cody sat down on the chair. He ended up asking Paul Heyman if he knows why he hasn't trashed him on the mic or in the media. He ended up saying that he was a fan of The Rock. Cody ended up saying that he is fed up with being nice. He ended up saying that if it's a Bloodline setup, they can come and get him. So Paul Heyman ended up saying that he has a better idea. Paul Heyman ended up getting on the apron with his so-called suspended members, his friends of the NYPD. So they were surrounding the ring. Paul Heyman ended up asking if he could come into the ring. And Cody ended up saying that he may not. To which we heard Paul Heyman end up saying, "That's rude." So the suspended NYPD officers got into the ring. So Cody ended up wanting to make it clear that if one more person takes a step toward him, he's dropping everyone in the ring. So Paul Heyman ended up respecting that. So Paul Heyman ended up going to get into the ring. but Cody ended up growling wrong. So Cody ended up attacking the suspended officers with the steel chair, and he ended up dropping one of them with a crossroads. Paul Heyman ended up taking out his cell phones. Yes, Paul Heyman now has 2 cell phones, one for Roman Reigns and one for The Rock. So Cody ended up telling Paul Heyman to call The Rock, and that the Bloodline is not hunting him. Cody ended up saying that he is hunting the Bloodline. Cody then ended up attacking the suspended officers again with the steel chair, and he throws them out of the ring. Cody ended up standing tall, and Monday Night Raw went off the air. But overall, I thought this was a very odd and weird segment here. Supposedly, Paul Heyman has, friends from the NYPD that are suspended to come there and just get behind him and, protect Cody, and for them to protect Cody from him. And why does Paul Heyman have 2 phones? Has he ever heard of a 3-way call where you just have one phone? You have him on the line, you do another one with Roman, and another one with The Rock, all on one phone. Why did they have to give Paul Heyman 2 phones? It's laughable. It is laughable. But overall, that was Monday Night Raw. Overall, mediocre show this was. But anyways, that's it for the Monday Night Raw review. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all Wednesday night for AEW Dynamite. See you then.